My computer will not let me go live right now. This is very interesting. I don't know if anybody will see this, but very fascinating. I am doing this on my phone, so I hope that people find this. I hope that you're able to come over to this. We're talking about some really interesting topics, and so I find it to be super fascinating that it's not letting me go, okay, good, Danny, I don't know what was going on. I hope that everyone can come over to this space. I literally got cut off from my computer. I tried to go live on my computer, so I'm doing it here. So hopefully, oh my goodness, I'm so happy. Okay. I'm sorry, like my whole thing glitched and I couldn't. I hope that that saves. I hope that this saves. I'm doing this on my phone. We all know my relationship with technology is not my strong suit, so I appreciate everyone being here. And it's so fascinating. This happens when we talk about heavier topics, or this happens when we have potent conversations to be having. And the concept of understanding the self and also connected to the vibration of money and connected to the vibration of really the self, like, okay, so thank you for understanding. It's the little bit of my aries is like, I want it to go well, I want it to go well. Let's let me take a sip of water and we'll continue with our conversation. So the self concept, I know that I am source, spirit, God, having a human experience. In my perspective and in my practice, it's source and your higher self had a baby, and it's you. It's you. And so when we have human experiences, we can play into certain energies and vibrations of, I am this middle child. I'll speak from I statements. I am an Aries sun conjunct Jupiter, Capricorn moon, Scorpio rising. I am, like, there was a long time in my life that I would identify as certain pages of the DSM-5. I would say I am an adult child of alcoholic parents, so I can lie effortlessly, or I can this. We start to wear those things on our lapel and say, I am this way because of this. I am this way because this happens to me. I am this way because of my birth order, because of where I live. I am this way because of all of these things. It can also be, and this could be a very contentious topic as well, we are a part of a certain ideology. We are a part of a certain religious group, a certain community, a certain whatever it may be, and we have those, the, what's it called, the hive minds. We'd say, I am this, so I believe A, B, and C. I am this, so I believe A, B, and C, which can sometimes be incredibly ambiguous. Like there's, somebody that could read the book, could interpret it in many different ways. Someone that believes this can interpret it in many different ways. I live in the United States, so there's not like this one set of exactly the culture, Danny. There's not one set of, this is what you're supposed to believe if you're very left. This is what you're supposed to believe if you're very right. It can shift and change, and everyone has their own interpretation of it. But when we have those views of ourself, this is why the self concept is very important. Anything that you say after I am is. 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 Yes, exactly. We are all in our own universe and we have our own thoughts, Danny. That's beautifully said. And one doesn't take from the other. I talk about this all the time, whereas we speak from I statements around here. That's one of the most important, most potent aspects to this multidimensional cafe. It allows so many more people to come to this table. You can have your own reality, your own universe. Exactly, Danny. You speak from I statements. You say, I believe this. This is my universe. I mention this all the time. I love coffee. I love tea. Someone else at this cafe might not love coffee or tea. That will be their world. What we don't do is say, you have no idea how much that's hurting you. You should stop that. You don't know. No. I'm right. This is my reality. I'm going to impose it on you. You have to believe this. You have to believe this. And so having our version of self means that we know and own our own reality. I know that this is me. I know that this is where I am. These are my belief systems. These are my values. This is where I'm going. This is what my patterns are. It takes incredible awareness to say, I am God having this human experience, and I am having this human experience. Our human body, our precious cargo, as a subscriber so eloquently called it, has its own belief systems, its own traumas, its own big T, little t traumas, its own experiences in every possible way. So we have to have the awareness to say, okay, this happened, so this is where that we are not our first thought, we are our second thought, and first action comes into play. To say, okay, I know because of all of this, I might be feeling this way.
I can't pause off.
Pause to drink. I love it.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Take it as an awareness day. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. And when the world presents something to you, we can take a moment to really, between action and reaction, to transmit the reaction to the response. This is where that big emotions can come in, Danny. This is where those explosive emotions can come in. Because so many people are sometimes afraid to speak their truth because they can anticipate the reaction of another person. They can say, oh, this perspective of mine, I know is going to trigger a response. We can have a past experience that validates that says in my childhood I wasn't allowed to make waves or make noise, I had to stay quiet, or I had to do all of these things. And so I know if I say this, I'm going to receive all of these things. That's our intuition, that's our foresight, that's our awareness. So sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't say and speak our truth. Sometimes we don't express what it is that we feel, or we let the self stay in this odd little bubble. We don't show it. We don't fully express it. We don't let it happen in the way that it's meant to happen. So I really love that this came out. Really love that this came out. So now,
Fascinating. Let me get a major.
We're shifting in a really exciting way. A really exciting way. Yeah, we've got a lot of retrogrades going on right now, so this isn't, or pardon me, we have Venus retrograde going on right now. We have Mercury going retrograde later on, right the day after our full moon eclipse in Virgo. There's another topic that I really wanted to touch upon, and it's about money. And this was really potent, and I think that we can kind of piggyback a little of the self when it comes to religion, when it comes to ideologies, as well as when it comes to being a spiritual being, where sometimes we can think to ourselves, I don't need anything, I am, channeling, I am doing this, I am speaking to this. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear that, Danny. I'm, a channel, I don't need much. I don't need much. Whereas, and this is something that I ask a lot of people, if time or money were no object, what would you be doing? You have infinite time and infinite money. But one of the kickers is everyone else on the planet has infinite time and infinite money as well. So no one needs saving, no one needs anything. You can do things because you want to do them. You can do things because it's a passion. You can do things because you desire to do it. That can be an indicator of what you're meant to do in this world, what your soul is calling you to do. But it also, 9 times out of 10, actually like 10 times out of 10, if someone that I ask is working a job, they're like, I would quit today. I would quit today. Yeah. I'd quit today. That's exactly it. We have to be able to
bridge those gaps.
To go from, okay,
I really want to put this in the way that feels integral.
When we have desires to give, when we have desires to be of service, that is an exchange of energy. Everything on this planet is energy. These tarot cards are energy, this coffee is energy, this phone is energy, this blouse is energy, these glasses are energy, I am energy, you are energy, we are all energy. So we've given energies, certain hierarchies within ourselves as human collectives. To say that the energy of water is very important, the energy of a home is very important, the energy of money has been misconstrued in many ways. And it's been said, don't want too much, give. Don't do this, do this. Don't ask for this, or like, money is the root of all evil. Those types of phrases that have been burned into our brains. Whereas, what if every single person on this planet had every single basic need, want, and desire met? Every person on the planet. Yeah, we wouldn't have to stay in jobs that we didn't want. We wouldn't have to be in situations that weren't best for us. We would be able to receive whatever sort of mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual guidance and help that we actually needed. To live in that version of a lack-free society is what I hold to be my pie in the sky life for a lot of people. And so what I would recommend for people, if the freedom is one of the highest vibrations that we can possibly have. And I boil it down to 3 freedoms, which is time, location, and financial. I can go where I want, I can do what I want, when I want, as I want it. And that is what I want for every single one of you. If we understand that money is an exchange, then to be able to receive for our goods and services, to be able to receive and exchange the money for what it is that we're here to give, we cannot give from an empty cup or bucket, and we cannot take. It must become a clear vessel. It must become, we get to receive more downloads the more we're able to help. The more secure we are, the more we're able to hold more energy, the more we're able to do more for people. It is because of the finances that I receive that I'm able to do lives, connecting to people all over the world for free. Like, blessed be to YouTube for free. All of the things that I'm able to offer because of the compensation that I receive from my membership groups, from my one-on-one clients, from the super chats and the gifts that come through on my lives. The more I receive, the more I'm able to give. It is an exchange. It's an exchange. Does that make sense? Taking care of your own being, so important. You get to heal. Moon Sprout, it's great to see you. Great to see you. And that's one of the most important things as well, Danny, is that when you have time freedom, we don't worry about hustling. We don't worry about, oh, I gotta create this because time equals money. I gotta go do this. I gotta go do this. It was something that I really learned when I was in the restaurant industry, which is you could have an amazing flush night and then do the exact same job a week later, same hours, same service, same level, and receive pennies to the dollar. You also didn't have sick days, so you weren't allowed to get sick. You weren't allowed to have any of those types of things. And it's live your dream. Exactly, Moonsprout, exactly. So it's a potent energy to be able to do, to be able to give and to receive. And it's something that, I had a Instagram subscriber, ask about having money and to be able to take care of myself. Money's not the goal. But money gives you money right now in this paradigm of 2025 is an energy in the earth school that we must adhere to. You exchange money for goods and services. I have many clients that I do trade with, many people in my life that I've done those things with. So it really depends on the area of the world that you're in. I live in the United States, so I can speak to that paradigm where you exchange money for goods and services. You exchange money for, I'm going to receive this. And the more abundance you have, the more, like Danny's saying, you're able to slow down, do that healing, go get a massage, talk to a spiritual counselor, talk to a therapist, get your chart read, do all these things, hire a personal trainer, a chiropractor, go to a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever it may be. You get to be the healthiest version of yourself because you don't have to worry about those things. I don't know about you, but I've been in situations where I haven't been able to afford to get sick because I needed to go to work to make money in that shift. It was like paycheck to paycheck, but when you're in the service industry, it's literally day to day. So I've been in those situations. And what I can say from experience from I statements is that you cannot create when you are in fear. You cannot create because you're equating your gift, your spiritual, whatever it may be. This could also be artists, where you say, I'm making this so somebody can buy it. So you're not creating with the effortlessness of spirit flowing through you. You're creating with the intention that it has to have value in the external. It has to have value that someone else has to say, this has value and I will give you money for it. The same thing happens sometimes with clients. Whereas if you're down to your last nickel and penny and dime and you need that service, you need that client to be coming in so that you can pay your bills, people can get into the, oh, let's book another session in 2 weeks, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, and we'll book another session after that. I'll book another session after that. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Still building strong Capricorn foundation. Yes, yes, exactly, Moonsprout. That's a beautiful thing. You have, I really want to harness on what you just said there. You have a beautiful image already in your mind's eye as to what the future is. So, how we can loop ourselves into that future is to spend some time once a day visualizing it, getting that heart connection, because that version of you exists. It's not linear time, it's multidimensional quantum time. So it's like the can lines of all the moon sprouts all across time and space. And so when you connect to your heart, that gratitude, that feeling of, oh my God, I get to do this. I get to create art in the garden all the time. You start to draw all of that energy to you. All of it. All of it. So I had a really interesting, I want to share this story with you. Whereas on Saturday, I was out of Facebook. So on my monthly coaching call, I have a coaching call the first of every month for my my all access members in my membership group. I only had the one dot and the one dot. I was very embarrassed. I was like, I can't believe I had to go to Claire's. I had to go shopping at the mall. And so I had my coaching call. I had another I have an accountability buddy that we check in on Saturdays, and we really, how do I say, cheer each other on in a specific area of our lives. And so I got to go to the mall on Saturday. And so I got there, and there was no parking anywhere. I had to park all the way over in there's the mall, and then there's like the road, and then there's like that other parking lot, you know. And so I parked all the way back over there, and oh my God, it was such a beautiful call. I'm so grateful. I'm so, so grateful. Thank you for saying that. I just love the groups that are created. I just absolutely love them. Such a beautiful, powerful call. And so, but I was only wearing 2 sparkles. Girl, I did not show up full. And so I got to the mall, and it was, I would say a call was 11 to 12, 12 to 1:30. It was around like 2:45, 2:50 that I was at the mall. And it was packed, like absolutely packed. So I parked in the back, I walked my way in. There's kids everywhere, there's people everywhere, everybody. It was like, I love you so much. Everything was going on. I got a flash in my brain of Sarah in the restaurant industry a few months prior, because it was around 2:45, 3 o'clock that we would be done folding napkins, and the spot opened at 3. Whereas I would be visualizing in that moment, there's going to be a day that I don't wait tables, and I'm not going to care about how many people are around. I'm going to sit in traffic. I'm going to be out and about in the world. I'm just going to be like, I'm not going to care. I will stand in line. I will be so grateful that I don't have to be wearing this apron right now, that I will be out. I will be doing the things. And I seriously was like, waiting in line in the escalator, letting people run around me. I had the biggest, because I was living my answered prayers. I was living the manifestation of that past version of myself in real time. So I want to offer to every single one of you, to you Moonsprout, that you spending time visualizing that version of you that's in the garden and she's making out all the time and she's just chilling and she's doing her thing, the more you visualize it, the closer it becomes. And it was just this incredibly beautiful moment. And it wasn't anticlimactic, it was just me living. I had prepared it. I had visualized it. I knew what was coming. I saw it in my mind's eye. I was ready for it. I was open to receive it. And I kept my mindset focused on it. Truly, Saturday, one of the best days. One of the best days. I get to have my beautiful coaching call. I get to have an accountability buddy. I get to go to the busy mall and to be able to effortlessly afford sparkles that inspires other people to show up as their most authentic selves. We're not doing so bad. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. What questions do you have for me? I feel like this answered, and I just hope that I'm able to post both of these lives, and I'm sorry about that glitch in the matrix, but it just happens. It just happens, and I'm gonna, oh my gosh, wand energy, tons of wand energy. Okay. Deciding the life that you want to live. What do we want to visualize? What do we want to create? What is it that we're...
Oh, another major.
Let it break down from the inside out and choose the you that you want to be. Choose the energies that you really want to feel, that you want to, it could be, we can be a new person from yesterday to today to after this call. We can be completely different versions of ourselves. So what energies do we want to create? What energies do we want to feel? What does freedom mean? What does
Sovereignty mean?
What does health mean?
What does grounding mean?
What does being of service mean? How can we give and receive effortlessly? How can we be open to giving and to be open to receiving? Whatever season you're in. And what is it that you can effortlessly give? What is it that you can effortlessly receive? How can you be more open to receiving? How can you be more open to those types of energies? And know that it is okay. I want every single one of you bougie and tended to and moisturized and living your best life and happily fed and feeling grounded and safe and sovereign. I want every single one of you living your best life, because that doesn't take from me. That doesn't take from me. I want you feeling so abundant and free and joy-filled and love-filled in every second, in every breath. I want that for you. I want that for every single one of us. So I'd love for us to spend some time today really just thinking about, my future self has freedom. What does freedom mean for me right now? How can I feel more free? And this could be something you do maybe once a week. Maybe once a week you get out into the garden, Moonsprout, and once a week you make art out there. And just sink into that energy of, wow, there's going to be a day in my lifetime when I get to do this. And really just sit in that contemplation with it. And I promise you, it comes a lot sooner than we think. But right now, with that Venus retrograde, with Mercury going retrograde, with it being eclipse season, we're not making these huge moves. But we're deciding what energies we want to be. I hope that makes sense. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for your questions. Something wrong with the mic? It's been happening. It's been happening. I'll close out now. I'll review all of these and see what's going on, and I apologize, my dear. I'm trying my best with the technology, and I do not know what's going on with this. It's very frustrating on my end. So I will do my best to see if I can do some troubleshooting, and hopefully by next week we'll have our live. Thank you so much.